How's you? High five, Santa. What have you got me into today, Kevin?
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Kevin's in the Christmas cheer. Hopefully you guys are going to have a good Christmas here. We're back on the old D7 today, aren't we?
Yeah.
No, not me.
Not him. He's feeling good about it today. Kevin's going next door to do some Kevin stuff, making Bob Ross happy accidents over there. He's going to take his little Santa Claus. He's special. Me and Mr. Randy are going to work on this D7. If you guys have not seen, there's a couple videos on this thing, or at least one. I'll put it down in the description below. Last video was we drug this thing in the shop. It was in-op, wasn't running. It actually started up and ran just fine. So it's got like 1 hour on the engine since it was overhaul or new engine back in 2000 and I think 8. So it's got the 3306 direct injection in it. But we got that dude running. We've got a few more problems to work on today. We got all the controls loose on it. Everything's working. Winch is working. So main thing is we got a major leaky cylinder here. So we're going to rebuild the lift cylinders, and we'll probably tackle this tilt cylinder. It's not leaking yet, but I can't run it very much because that cylinder's leaking so bad. So we got to get these rebuilt first, then we'll get it out there and get it good and warm, get the transmission warm, probably drain it out, probably even change the winch fluid and stuff on that. So we'll get the rest of the odds and ends done. Oh, we got 2 track adjuster seals too that's not holding, so we're going to have to do something about that. We're going to have to bust the tracks apart possibly. We're going to put a new seal in there like we did on the D8 on each side, so we're going to get after it. Well, we're going to start with the leaky one first, Randy?
No, whichever
You're
one
both
you want,
leaking.
bub.
So we're going to try to attempt to take these pins out. The last D7 we done, one of those pins wouldn't come out. We ended up taking the cylinder part up here and taking it apart the other way, so we didn't have to blow that pin out. So we're going to get some tools, unbolt these, and see if those pins will come out. If they do, then we'll take a probably line off here, and we'll get this thing tilted up and pull her out with the forklift. Oh yeah. That was easy.
Yeah.
Alright, got that end off. I'm going to unbolt the line off the head there. Probably unbolt this one here too. That way to give us a little suction to pull that cylinder apart.
Ooh.
She oily?
Yeah, a little bit.
There you go.
I'll put the blade stuff on there.
I'm going up a little bit. Come on in. Drive on in. Yeah, going up. I have to suck that rod up and up so we can get the cylinder up. Going up. Back up a little bit. Straight up. Going up. Alright, that's good. Let me get a chain around that. Alright, we got some cardboard on the blade there in case this thing comes crashing out. We don't damage the chrome, hopefully. We're going to try to get it pulled out here and get it rigged up a little bit better, and we'll yank that out of there. Back your forklift up and go up just a little bit. Alright, we got a rod up here in the vise. Give you guys a little look. The internal seals look just fine. Worst thing on these tractors is sitting. This is sliding loose as a goose, which it shouldn't be doing that. Tells me that seal's out of there. We'll get the big impact out and get that nut busted off there and get some new seals slammed in this thing. And we'll be sticking her back on there. Alright, don't know if you guys can see in there, but that inner seal is nothing but pieces. That's why she was leaking like a sieve. It all crumbled up there.
Yeah.
Old and hard.
Yeah.
Alright, we're going to get this taken apart, cleaned out. We'll throw some new seals in it, and she'll be golden.
Actually, it's just falling apart pretty easy.
Don't know why it was leaking, Andy.
Yeah, that's rotten too.
Not that trash.
Yeah.
Alright, got our new seals all in there. We ought to be ready to go. We'll slam this dude back on there and get the nut tightened back up. There we go. Alright, we got her all back together, got some grease on her, she's ready to go back in the dozer. Go up a little bit. Up. Down one in. That's good, shut her off. we got that one bolted back up. I think what we'll do, we'll shove that rod in a little bit, Randy.
Yeah.
And we might try to hook it up. If not, we can start it and do it later. Let's get that cardboard out of the way. Maybe we'll push it in here. Yeah, we might. Maybe. I might go help you and get it. I have to get that block of wood and a hammer. That'll work. Alright, got our pin and keeper back in there. We're all golden here. We just got to hook up these two lines. I did put new O-rings in here. We'll get them bolted up. We'll be ready to move to the other side. Alright, we got that one done. We're going to do this one over here too, but we're going to do it the easy way. You guys might want to stick around too at the end of this video. This thing will be looking totally different. So we're going to do this one the dirt perfect way. Alright, just like that, we got that one fixed. Just that easy. Randy didn't make a mess or anything. Don't look down at the floor. So, I don't really want to do it, but as you can see, this is just a dust seal. It's all cracked up. That thing's probably going to start leaking. It's not leaking at all right now. What happens, this tractor's actually been through like a government overhaul not too long ago. Well, I say not too long ago. It's been 2008. What happens, in this one seal that sits down here, it doesn't get any oil when the machine's not running. Those things dry up and get brittle. They're made to have oil, a little bit of oil and lubrication to keep them wet. They'll last a long time. That's why the seals up in here are always good, because they're sitting in oil, but these ones out here always tend to go bad. But I think for good measure, we're going to go ahead and do that one. From my experience, those things just start leaking. So this one, I say that, it probably never would leak, but we don't want to paint this thing and do all that good stuff and then that thing start gushing out and we have to do that. So with that being said, we're going to unbolt this dude. We'll probably fire the tractor up, suck that cylinder back a little bit, and then we'll stand that straight up. You guys probably seen me do that process a few times. Then we'll try to yank that dude apart. Alright, got that dude unbolted. Randy's hooked around at the forklift. I'm going to start this dude up and suck that cylinder back. I don't think... Let's see if we go up a little bit and clear. It may clear there. It's close. You get tight? I think you may have it. Alright, that's good for now, Randy. Well, I guess I'm not going to start it up. A lot of times those are stuck up in there. Shut her off. We've got to unhook these lines. And we'll tilt this dude up. I'm gonna try, so we can actually just take this out. It's got the old V-band packing stuff. I'm gonna try to take this nut off. If that don't work, we'll have to take the whole cylinder apart. Alright, we got the big one stood up. It actually cracked loose here. We're gonna pull her out. We tried taking that nut loose here. It didn't want to come, so thankfully she come loose here. Yeah, going up. Easy. Easy. Up a little bit. That's nasty. Now going up a little bit. Let me help you with the pry bar. Yeah, that's not what's holding it. Going up a little bit. Easy. Going up a little more. Whoa. She's under some pressure. Oh. you leaned all the way forward? Oh. Go up a little bit. Oh. That's you. Big old chunk of cylinder there. I think it's got like an 8 1/4 inch bore or something. It's crazy. Same bore that they use on the D8s. Back up. Take your back end around that way, Randy. Cut it hard that way. Now go down. Alright, we're going to get that set up in the vise. Alright, got this big old turd up here in the vise. If you guys been watching my channel, you know that me and Mr. Kevin made a socket last time. Just for this, Randy.
Oh yeah?
We didn't have a socket that big.
Yeah.
So we got to take this, screwdriver over there. Got to take off this retainer ring. Somewhere. Where's the end of it at?
Right here's one end.
There's a little pin in there. Lay that over there. So that locks that nut in place. It's kind of old school. We need the big 1-inch impact again, Randy.
Yeah.
And hopefully this socket we made last time will work again. Looks like she will. We'll get that buzzed off there. Get some new seals into these again. Look perfectly fine. It look like it's just been put in. More of an issue with not getting any oil out there, like I said. So we'll get her apart here and throw some new seals in her. About all she wanted.
Looks good, don't it?
Good enough for who it's for. We got already set that over there. Chunk of metal.
Yeah.
This is a chunk of metal too. Yeah.
Fell apart then. Tapped that. Yeah, it's probably a good thing to replace them.
Show you guys these. This is kind of an old style seal. It's called a V-band seal, V packing seal. You guys can kind of see it's got a V groove in it there. So basically what it does, all that oil catches by and it's supposed to seal up. So you can actually tighten these down more and put some more pressure on these and start leaking. But this one, unfortunately, was all the way bottomed out. So on this style, you want a little bit of gap under here so you can crank these down as they go. But again, when these things sit and don't get oil in them, they all dry up and don't work no more. So those may have sealed up. If it had the old poly type seal in it, or the newer style, it may not work, but that may have been okay. But we're here now, so we're going to replace her. You guys can see the dirt wiper seal is pretty much trashed for sure, so we'll get a new one in there. Something that's important on these V-band seals, I have a bottom and a top. You guys can see this actually has that cup in it and it's flat on top. So you got to have a little bit of compression on these, like I said. You can see we've got a little bit of gap here. And another tip, you guys don't want to tighten this down until this thing is on the rod over here, because it makes them real hard to get on when you squish that down here. So what we'll do, we'll just put these in here finger tight and get everything together and assembled, and then we'll snug these up. And these don't have to be killer tight, you're just trying to put some pressure on that packing. And if you do get a leak later on, you can tighten them up a little bit more. So We'll get that put back together, and we'll be done with the hydraulic cylinders. That big impact again, Angie. Alright, don't look from here down. We didn't make a mess. Got her all back together. We're going to lower this down the forklift a little bit, hook the lines back up, and then we'll use the dozer on this one to suck that back in there and get her lined up here. So we'll, man, you made a mess, Randy.
Yeah.
We won't tell nobody though.
You have that problem.
We'll get her cleaned up. Alright, Randy's going to fire the old dude up and try to get a little bit of oil in here. We got the lines hooked up. I'm going to suck that back a little bit. Disconnect on over here. There you go.
Ready?
Yep. Alright, we're going to get some bolts in that dude and tighten her up. Alright, all in all, that went really well other than the big mess that Randy's got to clean up on aisle 3 and 4. Got everything rebuilt, new seals in them. Looking good, looking good. I've actually got to go run and get some supplies for this project over here. Something cool going on there. So, I got some auctions to look at too online. Next step, tomorrow, we're going to try to attempt to put some track adjuster seals in without busting the tracks apart. I don't know if we can do it or not. The reason I don't want to bust the tracks apart, these are actually dry tracks, and we'd have to drive the pin out, which we've got the tools to do that if we have to. So I think we might be able to sneak that piston out, maybe, if the tracks. These tracks are actually really new, the rails, so depends how much stretch is in there. But Randy's probably going to clean all this up while I'm gone. We'll get these covers off here so we can see the track adjusters and get that all cleaned up. So we'll be ready to go in the morning. And then we got a couple filters, give it a good run around, and hopefully she'll be ready for wash and maybe a Kevin makeover. We'll see you guys in the morning. Alright, me and Randy just done the, what do you call it, Randy? Something you're not supposed to do in the book?
I'm not going to say on the record.
So we changed the track adjuster seal on the other side. You guys can see here's the seal. It was leaking. So by the book, you're supposed to bust the track apart and pull the idler out, kind of like we did on D8K if you watched that. These tracks, as I said, they were dry pins, so they don't have that master link in them. So you got to drive the pin out. I do have the press, but these are old and rusty, and the rails are like new, so there's not much clearance in there. So what we actually done, we'll show you guys. You guys can see we've got a whole assortment of tools. So what I done on the other side, kind of snuck in there, unbolted this. We'll take a porta power, push that idler as far forward as we can, try to get enough room in there. Then we can actually pull that little piston out and replace that seal inside there. It doesn't leave me much room, but I did get the other side. It wasn't too terrible, so I'm not gonna complain. So it only took us what, hour and a half or so, and we would have been messing with that track way longer than that. So we're gonna set you guys up here and try to do the same thing here. Hopefully it works. We'll cross our fingers. Alright, got all the bolts out of there. We're going to set this porta power up here. What we're going to do, we're going to jack on that front idler and try to push that forward and get us a gap in there. The hose there, Randy. Alright, we got the porta power in there. Randy's going to jack it up. Should give us some room here. See the track starting to tighten up. I should be able to slide this piece back here and get a pry bar. Alright, we got that jacked far enough forward we can get our little mini porta power in here now, so I guess we can let that one off, Randy, and we'll switch hoses here.
Okay.
And we'll switch hoses, we can get a little bit more. And then what I'll do, I'll put a couple nuts on there, jam nuts to lock it in place, so it's a safety because we don't want to put our hands in there in case that track will come back. We actually had to pull the other side back with bolts, but you never know. Back together. Alright, Randy, go ahead there.
Alright.
So this thing only has like 3/8 stroke, but yeah, getting us some more room there.
Better than nothing, eh?
Yeah, I think that's about it, Randy.
Alright.
Alright, so I'm gonna run one of these bolts in there and jam a couple nuts on there, act as a little extra spacer. Then I'll probably move this porta power back down there. Then we'll show you guys that piston in there. I don't know, you guys probably can't see, but there's a piston hiding out way back in here, and it's hard to get anything on it to pull it out. So what I did on the other side, I actually welded a nut on there, and then I was able to spin it a little bit and kind of get it pulled out with a pair of pliers. So we're going to do the same thing. I welded on 2 flats before, and I can spin it and knock that nut off. It doesn't really hurt anything. Again, this is not by the book, this is just how we're doing it, so take it as it is. So we're saving ourselves hours, probably days of work here, and not splitting these tracks apart. So, and we've even got the tools to do it. I just know how much of a pain these things can be. So I'm gonna get the welder set up here, and you guys can watch, and hopefully we can get that seal pulled out far enough to change. You shut my helmet there, Randy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Spin it a little bit, and maybe we can pull her out.
Yep.
Oh yeah. We need that screwdriver and a hammer where we can bust that nut off.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys can see that little piston there. We got it kind of out, so I'm going to try to bust this nut off here now. Just like that. Okay. Paper towel. Alright, there's the seal. You guys can see it, the brittle coming apart too. So basically grease goes in the side, pushes in this empty cavity and swells that out and makes it seal up. Obviously that one was not in good shape either. So there is a couple more, there's actually a couple wear band seals in here you can't get to. Being these tractors don't have that many hours on them, and we don't want to bust the track apart, we're not going to replace this. Like I say, this is not exactly 100% by the book, but all we're trying to do is replace this seal. It's going to hold our grease. We'll put a new seal in. We got a new ring to go on there to hold her in, and hopefully we can get her all back together here. So there's a new seal there. You can see that groove a little better. This one's got a nice swell on it. Like I say, pressure pushes in there and seals that up, and that grease and that piston's what tightens those tracks up. So simple design, but it works for sure. Try to get this new one slid in there. I gotta be careful because we don't want to lose our piston. Alright, we got her in there. I don't know if you guys can see. I got the snap ring on there. I'm going to shove that back, like that, back in its home. And that's all there is to it. Just that easy. We'll get this back in there. I've got my jam nut bolt in there. We'll get it out of the way. Oh, we got to put, we got 2 more seals in here, Randy. I'm getting ahead of myself. I thought that was too easy. We got 2 more seals in here we got to put in. Seals of grease from the outside world. On there. There's a backup ring. Somewhere in there. Oh, there, it fell down. So there's a backup ring, the O-ring that seals up around the outside of that piston. Basically kind of like a head gasket, I guess you could say. So I'm going to get those in there and we'll get her bolted back together. Alright, you guys watch right here. You should start seeing that move forward here in a second. We're going to fill her up with grease. Alright, we should start seeing that track lifting up very slowly. Just extending the low. We want about 1.5 inches of slack or so. We may have to adjust these once it backs out the shop too. Well, at least she's holding now. Alright, hopefully you guys can see that's moved out there a couple of inches at least. Got her all tightened up, looking good. So, we got that done. Just got to put some covers on her, don't you, Randy?
Yeah.
That project's done. We're going to take it outside, run around, get her warmed up, make sure everything's good on that. We got to drain transmission fluid, change filters on that. But you guys seen us do that a couple times on these old tractors, so I'm not going to bore you with that. But stick around here in a few seconds, and I guarantee you she's going to be looking a little bit different. you got going on in here?
Christmas cards.
Everybody's got all the Christmas cards up.
They're all here.
We had those
Christmas
people brought
wreath.
that wreath down from Ohio.
Yeah, they were the first.
First gift.
Yeah.
Got Mrs. and Mrs. Claus.
We're still here.
You got
at
it
the
going
North
on. These
Pole.
people are here to look at the D7.
Oh, okay.
How'd you do? Don't mind all the noise next door.
Yeah.
Well, it looks pretty good, bud.
Yeah. Cambo.
You even put stickers up over your little happy accident. Looks good.
Oh,
We're missing one thing, which is the seat back. It's back ordered, supposed to be in later this week, so hopefully get it. But we ready to pull this dude out? You got to touch it up at all, or
we're ready. Let's do it.
we got to do some touch ups on the idlers, or what? Maybe. Looking good. Get a good shot.
Woo! That's brisk, baby. Must be a snow blizzard coming. Santa Claus, snow cat.
High five, Santa. No. Don't be hitting Santa Claus. We'll kill Christmas. Oh, she's beautiful.
See it in the camera, or is it camouflage?
Can't see it, bub.
Can't see it.
Can't see it for the sun.
You did another beautiful job.
Here you go, master camera holder.
Are you not capable of holding the camera
Well,
here?
I can't figure out how to make the sunlight work.
The sun is kind of bad this time of year. Once again, I think it's man, the thing's kind of hidden on camera.
Yeah.
You can't see it, can you?
Hunting season.
Looking good, looking good. Did you tell everybody about your Santa Claus over here?
No, but they see him. I gave him a high five.
He's 20 foot tall.
And he's excited to be here because it's almost Christmas.
All right, we wish you guys a Merry Christmas. Hopefully, you guys should be seeing this right around Christmas time. So
Yeah.
we appreciate everybody watching. If you liked the video on this series, definitely give us a thumbs up. Leave some comments below. I do read every single one of them. So, and if you want to see more cool stuff, you might consider subscribing.
Yeah.
We'll catch you guys next time. What are you doing?
Got that thing off. We don't need that.
Nobody can
We had
see
a
it. It's
minor
camouflage.
touch-up. Look, he's still there. Oh, dude.
Nobody's gonna. Now they're gonna comment. See?
Look, it's still coming through.
You gotta let it dry. It's like 20 degrees out here, bud.
Ah,
Freeze dry.